Good morning, friends. I look sleepy. It is Monday, July 24th. This lighting makes my teeth look weird. Today I woke up at, I think it was 132.1, and I think I'm gonna start doing like more regular physique updates because they kind of just keep me like feeling like I'm checking with my coach. So we'll do that. Now it's 5:45 in the morning. I am starting to practice waking up early with Vic. So he gets up at 4:30 every morning so he can head out at 5:15 to go to the gym. And since the countdown is on until I start work, I figured I would start waking up that early because I'm hoping to just start our days early, me and the kids, and they'll probably be getting dropped off at daycare kind of early in the morning, and then I'll go to the gym, and then that's so that I can pick them up earlier in the evenings, and then we can still have normal family dinners and such. So yeah, you want to hear something really funny? And I actually just got another comment that came through. I got a comment on my YouTube channel this weekend where all they said was, "I hate you." Like, that was it. They commented on my most recent video where I was talking about how I got the job, and all they said was, "I hate you." I'm sorry. It seems like a lot of wasted effort on their behalf. So why you hate me, you? Sorry I'm whispering. I hope it's not too quiet. I don't want the kids to wake up. So I did want to talk about real quick and try and pull up a picture of the book. Per Lauren Conlon, I will link her YouTube channel below. Per her suggestion, I have started reading this. I've only finished one chapter, and then I've watched her Science Simplified videos about a later chapter where she talks about eating less variety in your diet and the effect that it can have on your goals. So it's called The Fattest Man on the Island. And so I thought I'd do a little review as I go chapter through chapter. So with The Fattest Man on the Island, they're referencing this guy that was from like Papua New Guinea. He lived on an island off the coast of New Guinea. When researchers met him, he had just returned, I think, from having lived as a businessman in a big city nearby. And so what was interesting was they fish, and they had crops of like sweet potatoes and cassava, and so they didn't have supermarkets. They were doing the labor to gather their food. They were building their homes and stuff like that. So not an industrialized situation. And then he left and went to an industrialized city and lived that life. And when he came back, he was like significantly overweight. I forget what the amount was. He's 50 pounds heavier than the average Katavan man of his height, and 12 pounds heavier than the next heaviest man in his community. And so what they were just talking about is how when he went to the industrialized area and he had access to food, and he no longer had access to an abundance of food and a variety of food, and he no longer had to do the work to get it, his weight skyrocketed. And specifically in this chapter, I mean, definitely go get the book yourself. You can get it on the Kindle, or you can order it paperback or hardback. But what I found interesting was they talk about this scientist. I think it was in like the late 1970s, and they were working with rats, and they were having a hard time getting rats obese quickly so that they could do studies on them. I guess rats are picky about new foods and stuff like that, and so they would have to add fat to their rat chow to get them to gain weight, and then it would take a couple of months. Until one day this rat was like chilling on a bench and somebody had left out Fruit Loops, and the rat waddled his way over and started chowing down on Fruit Loops. And so the researcher went out and bought, they called it like the grocery store diet, but then they call it the cafeteria diet or cafeteria effect. And they got like salami and marshmallows and Fruit Loops and shit food. And the rats like gorged themselves and they were obese in a matter of weeks. And so they go on later on to talk about how they, even like when you do studies on people, and you go and you try and ask somebody like, just tell me what you eat in a day. Majority of the time, and I've seen this just while I'm coaching people, they're gonna fudge their numbers, either because they don't fully understand their serving sizes or because they don't want to be honest about them. They can use research facilities called metabolic wards, where the study participants are fed controlled diets. It's super accurate because the researchers are controlling what the people have access to, but the people aren't getting to choose what they eat, and so they might not make the same quantity decisions that they normally would if it's like something they're not actually interested in. So what they tried to do was they took these metabolic wards where they will lock you in there for like a week, but they went and filled these giant vending machines with you know, snack foods, chips and candy, and they had like French toast and hamburgers and like stuff like that, and then you just had access to whatever you wanted. You had to use your code, and then you had to return whatever food you didn't eat so it could get weighed, and they could accurately log what these people were eating and what they were choosing. And what they found was that these people were, in a matter of like 1 or 2 weeks, the participants all gained like an average of 5 pounds. And they weren't told to overeat. They weren't told to do anything besides like hang out in this metabolic ward and here's your food. And everybody overate because they had access to these foods. And so that's where they go into the cafeteria effect. And I just think that's really interesting, especially with summer. And then like later in the year when you go to like Christmas parties and stuff like that, that when you are in a room or in an area like a all-inclusive vacation, or you know, if you're at like a wedding like I recently was, or like any those kinds of situations where you're probably gonna be surrounded by a lot of foods that you enjoy or that you want to enjoy and that you don't normally have around you. People, like even if you say I'm not gonna go nuts and eat a lot, they're starting to see that like you will, and they're gonna try, and as I get through the book they're gonna figure out why. And it's called the hungry brain, and so they're gonna dive more into how the brain controls this. And they were talking about there's basically like 2 like decision-making centers of the brain, 1 and 2, and so I'm sure we're gonna dive deeper into that. Now hopefully I didn't butcher the chapter I just read. So like I said, that's what I get for reading at 5 in the morning, but I want to try and get through at least 1 book a month, and so this is my book right now. I also very much value Lauren Conlon's opinion, so I'm excited to kind of follow along with what she's doing right now. So I am also trying to, just based off of her video, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't gotten to the chapter yet. They talked about having less variety in your diet sometimes can lead to making dieting easier. So obviously I'm on prep right now, so I want diet to be as easy as possible. And so I think I'm gonna start trying to not like have something. I've been trying to keep my diet with as much variety as possible lately, and I think I'm gonna try to cut back on that a little bit and get back into my routine of eating. So I very much do not eat on like any sort of meal plan even designed by me right now. I kind of just make something work, and so I'm gonna try and control that a little bit more and see how that helps with my satiety and my results. So yeah, so it's Monday. It's my favorite day of the week. It is heavy leg day, and nothing else interesting. I think this is the last week of July, right? Yeah, it's July 24th, so we're almost to August. Isn't that crazy? The best part about being almost August, that means it's almost football. And that means it almost won't be 100 degrees outside every day. I'm so sick of this weather. So I'm gonna try and get this edited. It should be easy because I'm just gonna like let it run through. Please leave comments and questions below, and I will do my best to go back in the book and verify any answers I give. Again, if I butchered that first chapter, don't judge me too hard. You know, self-improvement at 5 o'clock in the morning probably requires a closer look. So, but I love this stuff. Vic's like, you're crazy, and I would never want to read that, but I love it. I think it's interesting. So, cheers. Happy Monday, and I'll talk to you guys soon. One more thing before I start editing. Vic and I just ordered this from Gaines in Bulk. So CLA is a conjugated linoleic acid, and you're supposed to take 4 grams per day for 12 weeks. And it's all about the consistency. You have to take it every single day to see the results. And it's supposed to help you. They've done studies that have showed that if you take 4 grams a day every day for 12 weeks, that you can lose up to 4% body fat. So yes, please. So like I said, Vic and I are both taking it, and I'll let you guys know both of us, like how both of us react to it. I'll try and find the study that they were talking about, but I will link the website for the CLA in the comments section, or in the information section, because they discuss it a little bit further in there. And then you can use my code ChristinaK10 to get 10% off, and it's $13.33 before my code for one of these, and this is a 1-month supply. And so you know, it's like $39, 40 bucks for the 12-week supply, and then you get my 10% off. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Now I'm gonna go feed the pups. Oh. Yeah. And get rolling on this Monday.